Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. We're rolling along here in the NBA after a giant Wednesday night slate. We are looking at Thursday night here with just two games on the docket for us. We are recording this on Wednesday night here, so we're probably short some props, definitely short some for the Milwaukee-San Antonio game after the Bucks lose that exciting game to the Pacers on Wednesday. So we don't have much there for that, but we have enough here for the player props that we like and a couple of leans and the best bets as well. So continue to follow along. Do check out that best bets video. Subscribe to that page. We're coming to you each and every weekday this season with both of these videos. We also want you to head to thelines.com and use everything that we're putting up on the site right now, including that props finder tool to make sure that you're getting the best juice available to you from all of these books that are giving you bets this season. Nate, let's go ahead and get into your first NBA player prop. We got a bunch of stuff here from the game we have props for, right? From the Nuggets and Dubs.
Yeah, it's pretty much most of it's up there, including Jamal Murray, who you took on Christmas against these Dubs, and he definitely went over 22.5 points. I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to tack on the 4 rebounds, though. That's what I felt most comfortable with, not adding 6 assists against the Dubs team that limits assists because they just foul people, and that will take those off the board. But 26.5 points and rebounds to me is fine for Murray on the road, where he actually averages more minutes and therefore more points and more rebounds. And lately the Nuggets, we've been saying we're wondering when they're going to kind of get into their championship form. They at least Murray is starting to. I mean, with AG out for a couple games, his assists really spiked. He has a 44% assist rate in his last 3. But you look at his last 4 on the road, where he's playing at least 32 minutes here because it's much more competitive for Denver. He's averaging 25 points, nearly 8 rebounds, and 6 assists with a 30% usage. 11 peripheral stats to go along with 21.5 points in his last 9 overall. So, this is about the average here. The Warriors, smaller backcourt with Steph, CP3 rotating in there. I think he continues to eat against them, and that Jokic is completely fine with him. With Murray being the number one option scoring, Jokic is going to pace himself and continue to kind of ease into the season the way he has all year, preparing for that huge playoff run that I'm sure we're going to see from him.
Yeah, he's spending the time right now buying the horses that he needs. And then, in that point in time, he'll refocus on the season when we get closer to the playoffs. It is a bit of an annoyance with that team, but I do think that we can continue to bank on the Dubs not being able to stop guys like Jamal Murray, to be honest. They've been bad at defending point guards all season, unsurprisingly. And they are better at it when they have Gary Payton Jr. II, who just got hurt in that game last night now and will be out for at least a couple of weeks, according to Shams. So I'm going to go ahead and take an under, though, for a...
Gary Payton Jr. II. I just had to call that
Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
It's his grandson. Anyway, moving past it, Chris Paul, who incidentally I wrote Pual in the notes here, but it's Chris Paul, under 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists for CP3. We just faded his 9.5 assists. That actually got bet down eventually to the 8.5 that he and still went under with the 5 that he had in the last game. So I'm going to take the rebounds and points as well. The points and the threes specifically have been coming down for him, but it's just an anomaly, honestly. Like, you watch Chris Paul take a step. Like, I was watching that game the other night. He takes a step back 3 against like Jalen Suggs, and I'm like, what the hell? It goes in. Like, it was. I expected it not to go in. It doesn't look good. It's just he's got a couple of those every now and again where he just does point guard stuff. But more importantly, like, I don't think the points will be there for him. I think that's a part of the prop that's too high at 10 points. To be fair to the assists that are at 7.5, which dropped good on the books for realizing that 9.5 was absolutely absurd, but like 7.5 might be pretty high as well, to be honest with you. There's not really enough assists to go around for either Steph or CP3 to reach like 8 or 9 assists, in my opinion, because they're both doing very similar things. It's either Steph gets the ball forced out of his hands, and now CP3 or a guy even like B-Pods is the focal point of the offense, or Steph doesn't get the ball forced out of his hands, and he figures out what to do with it next. And in the last game, that was assisting a lot against the Magic, but More importantly for CP3, the potential assists stay still around like 11. There's not enough shooting, again, just to repeat the point, on this Warriors team to really feel good about guys getting that amount of dimes off of 11 potential assists, needing like 8 of them to go in. It's been closer to like 48% of the potential assists that he passes up. They go in for these Warriors players shooting off of his assists, and the Nuggets are good at limiting assists. Just they're not fouling either the way that the Dubs are. They're playing good defense. And switching well when they do, with the likes of all 4 guys able to switch other than Jokic on pretty much anybody on the court, which is a huge advantage for them always. And that's a big reason he's gone under in 4, his last 4 versus Denver. He's gone under in 9 of 11 without Draymond. It hasn't really worked. It hasn't helped him. Yeah, only twice that he's gone over, and one of those was against the Mavs, and then the other one was against the Celtics, which was really impressive as well for him in the way that he handled that game. But for the most part, the way that this backcourt is, don't sleep on it. Like I know Jamal Murray's been bad at defense in the past. He's gotten a lot better. And plus, obviously, KCP is one of the better, 2-guard defenders that we have in the league. So everything combined, I'll take under 22 PRA for the point guard.
Yeah, and I mean, he's going to be going up against a lot of the Nuggets backups, which include Strother, Peyton Watson, guys who are flying around and very athletic, not just Murray. I was going to take under 1.5 threes for Paul. That was in there as one of the best bets, in fact, because we're picking for unlimited stuff. But to me, it is kind of a bit too much variance that you don't know how many threes he's going to get off or what he's going to decide to shoot. But Denver, on top of limiting points, 4th fewest threes or 3rd fewest threes to point guards. And CP3, I think there's an opportunity to buy high, to sell high after he's hit 9 threes in his last 2 here. Like you said, just taking these unexpected shots that otherwise he's not really looking for a shot way out there. He's looking to facilitate, get inside, get to the mid range, and I don't think he'll really be pulling a lot of threes or scoring a lot in this matchup. So Jonathan Kuminga looking to follow up one of his best games in a while at home is key to mention, and the line is only 6.5 rebounds and assists for him. Juiced to the over for sure. I don't know if you can trust the points because the Nuggets are so good on the interior and they have Aaron Gordon back that I'm not really going to trust it to add on like 14, 15 points, but I'll just eat the juice and take 7 rebounds assists. For a guy who, even his last 12, he's averaging 8 of those in just 26 minutes per game. Like I said, he played 34 against Orlando, against a bigger team where he was needed, and he goes for 19, 6, and 4. Had a team high 6 rebounds. Shows you how desperate the Dubs are for some size and some presence, but played really well defensively, helping to shut down Paolo to a degree, and played well offensively, keeping the ball moving and earning more trust from Steve Kerr to get those minutes. And his last 4 against Denver, he has only gotten 24 minutes a game, but has still averaged 6.5 rebounds, assists. All 4 were at Denver, I must add, because, once again, this is another home game. As with a lot of young players, he's more productive at home, where he averages 6.5 rebounds, assists, has a 120 offensive rating versus 99 on the road. So I think he'll be able to stay out there, get enough minutes to get over these peripheral stats.
Yeah, we don't even have Andrew Wiggins props, and so I'm wondering, Wiggs had a good game against the Nuggets last time. Basically, is where I'm thinking, and it did actually ate into Kuminga's minutes a little bit, but in reality, he hasn't gotten minutes. Wiggins hasn't gotten many minutes other than that. To be honest with you, he played 21 minutes in the Magic game last night, and then he's only had every other game he's played under 30 minutes. He's not a top 5 most important player on this team right now, and there was a big consensus that he and Kuminga did too much of the same stuff, I guess. In reality, is no. Wiggins is a tall, athletic shooting guard, honestly, and sometimes small forward. And Kuminga is a legit undersized power forward the way he goes to the rim. So I hope that they keep him out there, to be honest, because it's a better matchup. And if he's not, if they worry about having Kuminga out there with Wiggins, it's still not a big deal to me, because Wiggins, like I said, I don't think he's still coming off the bench, and I don't think he's going to have to shoot incredibly, which was an anomaly against Denver last time. So to keep him in the game, and I don't think that'll be a problem this time. So final bet here. I do love KCP bets, and I'm going all over the place with KCP. I'm probably going to put some units on KCP after we're done recording, or I might even wait till tomorrow. But he gets the minutes. I'm not putting bets on him to like lock up Steph or anything. He's going to play because the only two guys on the court that he guards are Steph or Clay. So he's always out there. And he played 39 minutes in this last game against them. He's averaging 32 dating back to last year, the last 5 times he's played this team. He's gone over this number of, I don't know if I mentioned it yet, 11.5 points and rebounds. That's my favorite one. If you want just 9.5 points, good with it. If you want to get ballsy with the 3-point prop, it's 1.5. It's not necessarily too ballsy. He's done that against this team. He has pulled about 5 threes per game. So I don't love having to bank on a guy to shoot 40% from 3 on 5 attempts for me to hit this prop. That's why I don't love the threes more than any of them. But the rebounds, you want to put PRA in there. You want to do just assists, whatever. I'm good with all 3 of those stats for him and the over because he just does this a lot. And like I said, the points and rebounds is my favorite one. But he's playing 32 minutes against his team in the last 5. Last game, he guarded Steph and Clay for the entirety of the time that he was on the court. There was like a minute and a half that he was on the court that he wasn't guarding them. And he's averaged 13 points a game and about 3.5 boards in that time, getting you comfortably over the 12. And those numbers were completely skewed, actually, downward by a one game where he only played 21 minutes. And that's because he wasn't shooting that well, and Bruce Brown was playing really, really well. And they gave Bruce Brown the 32 minutes in that game against the Dubs last year. But other than that, he played, like I said, at least 32 minutes in all of those, and he scored 21. He had 21 PR, 21, 13, and 20 in all those games. So I really like him to keep doing that. The Dubs don't have much in the way of solid shooting guard defense, that's for sure. Clay is not that guy anymore, and that's why, especially in the last 15 games, they're allowing the 3rd most points per game to shooting guards and the 6th most 3-pointers made, which is a heavy dose of threes from KCP is usually what helps him get over points props usually. So we'll take him over 11.5 points and rebounds for this one.
Yeah, I think you can tack on the assists here for a little safety, or get the juice here on 3 assists, more so than 1.5 threes. He does have 25 assists in his last 8 here. Denver is if he's going to be out there for that long, he's just going to be part of a pretty efficient offense in a pretty high scoring environment for the Warriors at home. 235 total. I'm fine with it. It's just a case of following the minutes. Like if you look at a guy with good per 36 numbers and he's looking at 36 minutes, then take the over.
Yep, good math there. Love that. All right, that's all the time we have for you guys in the Play of Props. Like and subscribe to that page. Check out the best bets that we're also bringing you each and every weekday. And until we see you next, happy betting.